Okay, so today we are doing 3.2D factoring by grouping. This hopefully feels familiar because 3.2D is almost the same as 3.2B. Okay, there's a lot of similarities in how it's done. It's just that instead of starting off with a trinomial, you start off with a four-term polynomial. Okay, that's the only difference. Instead of having a trinomial, you have 4 terms that are given to you already. Okay. So the first problem I would like for you to write down, if you can't see or need to follow along, remember your notes are posted on Canvas and you can look at the same slides there. So we have 8y squared minus 12y plus 10y minus 15. Yes. Okay, so right now 8y squared minus 12y plus 10y minus 15. Okay, the first thing that we want to check for, so always check for if there is a GCF other than 1. And you also want to make sure that your leading term is positive. Okay. So before we get started, is there a GCF? No. 15 ruins it, right? And is my leading term positive? Yeah. Yes, so we're good to go. GCF equals 1. Check, and leading term is positive. Okay. Now, the next thing you're going to do is literally you're going to group the first 2 terms together and the last 2 terms together. So we're grouping, 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 grouping. Okay, again, what's different here in D than in B is that we have 4 terms, right? Once I group them, I'm asking myself, what is the GCF between the 2 terms that are grouped together? So what is the GCF between 8y squared minus 12y? 4y, good job. What is the GCF between 10y minus 15? 5, perfect, okay? When you are factoring out, that means you are dividing, right? When I factor something out, I am dividing. I'm undoing the product, the multiplication. So I'm factoring out 4y. And what am I left with? Well, 8y squared divided by 4y. 2y, good. Negative 12y divided by 4y. Negative 3, right? Now I'm going to factor out this positive 5. So I'm factoring out positive 5. What is 10y divided by 5? 2y. What is negative 15 divided by 5? Negative 3. Now I'm going to ask, what do they have in common?
2y and negative 3.
Okay, this is their common binomial. This is my next greatest common factor. So the GCF here, give me red. Thank you. The GCF here is 2y minus 3. I'm factoring it out, which means I'm dividing out 2y minus 3. So when I divide out 2y minus 3, what am I left with in each one?
4y.
And 5. So there are my factors. Okay, so let's repeat what we did. We first paired them up and found our GCF, right? First pair, find GCF. We factored out our GCF, which means that we divided by that factor. We highlighted our common binomial and factored that out. And what we're left with is 5y and 4y and 5. Speak to me on it. Terrible, doable?
Doable.
Doable? Weird?
Because you only got 4 and 5 from track, right?
What?
4 and 5 is from the difference of both of them?
The greatest common factor.
Oh.
Yeah. It just so happened to be.
I mean 4.
Happened to be. Me? Okay. All right. So what I want you guys to do is to start here. So your turn. Try. All right. So again, we group, right?
5 will go under the first one.
So not just 5, but what else?
5, 8, 3.
There we go. On the second one, what'd you get?
Let me see.
-2.
Oh, yeah.
Did we get -2?
Yeah.
Okay. So we factor out 5a cubed, and we're left with 3a cubed minus what? 5. We factor out -2, and we're left with
3 to the third power plus 5.
it's a negative, so a positive divided by a negative is a negative, so it should be -5. What is your common factor now?
3x to the third minus 5.
And so we're left with
5.
yes? How we feel? Oh, like, do you see where you messed up at though? Yeah, if you got it wrong, do you see your error? If not, then say, Miss Jones. Okay, what? Huh? Because the negative goes to the number. Yeah. When there's a minus, it applies to the number in front, okay? So we're looking for what do they have in common, and they have 3a cubed minus 5 in common, so we factor that out. And then whatever we're left with is our last factor. And we're left with 5a cubed and -2.
Oh, okay, so you just subtract the 5 and the last.
Yes. So whatever's remaining after you factor out, because we're taking this out and this out, and what am I left with?
Okay, so then you just.
Then you just write them as in factored form.
So instead of.
So now we're gonna do it. I know you're probably like, what do you mean when there's a negative in front? Well, where is it? We're gonna do one of those in a second, but I wanted you to see that this still works even if you have a bunch of variables. Okay, don't freak out. Yes, there's an extra variable, but guess what? It's still gonna do the same thing. Got it? So same thing. We're gonna check. Is there a GCF? Where? Across all 4. When does 5 go into 6?
No. Oh, no, I thought we.
No, before. All GCF. So check
No.
no GCF, right? So now we're gonna group.
Oh, 5 to the x squared.
There you go. So this one is
2 to the y squared.
good job, but not just 2, but a. The leading is negative, so the factor has to be
Negative.
okay.
I never knew that.
Quickly, yeah, go. All right. Yes, how do you feel? Was it that much harder just because I threw in another variable?
Oh.
No.
It's, five.
Yes, you're still just looking at what do the numbers have in common? What do the variables have in common, right? And now we continue. So we have 5x squared factored out. 15x cubed divided by 5x squared is 3x.
Oh,
25x squared y divided by 5x squared is going to be 5y. Now I'm going to factor out the -2y squared. What is negative divided by negative? Positive. And what happens to the y squareds?
Yeah.
Cancel. Oh my gosh. 10 divided by -2. What kind of 5? Negative.
Like that's all.
Okay. All right. So now what do they have in common? And I can factor out 3x minus 5y. Good job. So when I factor that out, what am I left with? Bam. All right. So can we do it with multivariables? Yes, we can. We're geniuses. Good job.
No, do not go.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about factoring by grouping with box. Okay. Again, you have 4 terms, right?
We're doing that one.
Conveniently, huh? Yeah, we're doing the other method.
Oh, no, are we doing that one too?
Yes. If the other one's not your friend, I'm showing you another one.
So can I just do this the method I had?
Yes, you can solve it. If you, again, I repeat, if you are fine with what we just did, do it again, okay? If you are struggling with what we just did, put your phones down and pay attention to what I'm doing now. I didn't say pick up your phone to do anything. Okay, so here we go. X cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x plus 12. Okay, first thing I want to check, is there a GCF? Is there a GCF? No. Is my leading term positive? Yes. So now I can proceed. If you struggle with traditional grouping, you can use the box. Please wait. Okay, with the box, you just want to make sure you're putting in order. So you're going to go left to right, top to bottom. Okay, you're filling it in this time. So we have x cubed, 3x squared, 4x, and 12. Just like we learned in 3.2b, when things are in the box, what are you looking for? The GCF, right? It's all about the GCF of every row and every column. What is the GCF of the first row? X squared. What is the GCF of the second row? Greatest, 4. What is the GCF of the first column? What is the GCF of the last column? 3. So therefore, your factors would be x squared plus 4 times x plus 3. That's your other option. So you can appreciate this.
Okay, well,
Do you appreciate it? You have to learn the whole process in order to learn a shortcut. We can't just go to shortcuts first. All right, here we go. So is there a GCF? Is my leading term positive? Oh no. So when that happens, I have to divide everything by -1 so that I can follow through. So I'm taking out -1. And now we have 15b cubed plus 3b squared plus 10b minus 2. Is my leading term positive now?
Oh, so you just.
Okay, all I did was take out that -1 so that my leading term would be positive. And now you can go back to the box. Left to right, top to bottom. Okay. So we have 15b cubed, 3b squared, 10b, -2, left to right, top to bottom. And once I'm in the box, all I'm looking for is the GCF. What is the GCF of the first row? 3b squared. Good job. What is the GCF of the second row? 2. Really? That's too cute. What is the GCF of 15b cubed and 10b? 5b. What is the GCF here? 1. If nothing's... So therefore, our factor would be -1, because it's still we got to remember that we took that out. 3b squared plus 2 times 5b plus 1. And we're done. Oh my God. Whatever. You're appreciating it though. All right. Last example to make sure you can do it. I want to make sure you can do it. Can you write on the board? Like I write on the board? How I'm writing on the board. Sure. You're gonna do the math problem? Oh, okay. Just
But I
making
just
sure.
don't know how to do it for real though, so how do I do it? Is it on this thing? Yeah. Oh, okay, how do I delete it?
Just right.
Okay, so,
Preach, just be preach.
What is so hard?
It's not easy to write up there, is it?
that's where your lines are always confusing.
It, y'all
Okay.
making fun of me. All right, so left to right, top to bottom.
Left to right, so what you can take out?
Here, no, you're just filling in the box.
Oh,
Left to right, top to bottom. So the first term goes
Right
in the
here?
top box, yeah. Minus.
okay.
That's a small 3.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a small thing.
The next term goes in the next box. Then your next term goes in the next box, so negative 3x. And then your last term goes in the last box. And now all you're doing is taking the GCF of each row and each column. Good job.
It's -1.
It's a -1, yes, because your outside box is negative.
Is it 2?
Uh-huh. Then when we have, there you go. And then,
No?
yeah,
Okay, so then.
That's right, right.
it's a 2 and not a -2.
Oh, shit.
If it was a negative.
If it was a -6, if the outside box is negative, it's a GCF.
Plus 2. Right, and
Draw your
then.
little square, yeah, there. Which one are you doing? Yeah. which one
Yeah,
are you
okay.
doing? Beautiful. They are beautiful.
Okay.
I don't know why you're writing backwards. But I have no clue why you're
Writing backwards is easier.
Okay. Yay, you did it. All right, that was today's lesson, by the way.